Welcome to another enlightening episode of The Film Files, the podcast where we delve deep into the fascinating world of filmmaking. Today, we're peeling back the layers of the 1998 action-packed film Soldier, featuring the revered actor Kurt Russell. This is not just your regular sci-fi action movie. It's a thrilling journey into an intriguing universe that shares an uncanny connection with the iconic film Blade Runner. Stick around as we unravel this connection and explore the could-have-beens of this dynamic piece of cinema. The year is 2036. We find ourselves in the midst of a world where Kurt Russell takes on the persona of a trained killing machine, Todd. He's been in this life since he was born, his identity and his only reality. But his world is shattered when he and his comrades find themselves suddenly replaced by a formidable new threat: genetically engineered super soldiers. After a crushing defeat against these enhanced warriors, Todd is dumped on a remote garbage planet, believed to be dead. Our presumed dead hero finds himself among refugees on this alien planet. Over time, he forms bonds with these societal rejects, and their companionship eventually becomes his newfound purpose. However, peace is short-lived when his genetically enhanced replacements, led by the ruthless Meekum, Todd's personal nemesis, come knocking. With his friends' lives at stake, Todd dusts off his soldier boots to stand against these mighty adversaries. At the helm of Soldier is director Paul W.S. Anderson, a known figure in the world of action movies. The movie's script is the brainchild of David Webb Peoples, an instrumental figure behind the original Blade Runner script, alongside Hampton Fancher. Peoples began shaping the storyline of Soldier during the filming of Blade Runner in the early 1980s. He lovingly labels Soldier as a sidequel to Blade Runner, a journey within the same universe yet different paths. The homage to Blade Runner in Soldier is brilliantly interwoven. Todd's service record includes epic battles, Tannhauser Gate and the Shoulder of Orion, both of which are references from Blade Runner. The premise of Soldier springs from an unused opening scene from Blade Runner that features replicants being abandoned on an off-world colony. The journey of the Soldier script is an adventure in itself. For a considerable period, it floated around Hollywood, with figures like First Blood director Ted Kotcheff and action star Sylvester Stallone showing interest. There was even a time when Clint Eastwood was attached to the project. However, following Eastwood's departure, the project was shelved for nearly 15 years before it was brought back to life and transformed into the movie we now know as Soldier. An interesting aspect of the film's conception is the vision of director Paul W.S. Anderson and David Webb Peoples. They envisioned Soldier as a space western, to be filmed in expansive real-life locations as much as possible. However, those who've watched the movie can attest, it was largely filmed within the confines of a studio, giving it a characteristic 90s action look, partially due to Kurt Russell's requirement for ample training time, pushing the shooting schedule back several months. When the filming was finally about to commence, inclement weather conditions made it impossible to utilize the original planned locations. As a result, the ambitious project had to be scaled back, and the team resorted to filming in a studio. This departure from the original vision compromised the expansive look that Anderson had planned, but the team moved forward. During the initial week of shooting, misfortune struck when Kurt Russell broke his left ankle, and then soon after, the top of his right foot. The entire filming schedule had to be redesigned around Russell's injury. The team prioritized scenes with Russell lying down, followed by ones where he was seated, and then standing still, and so forth. Upon its release in 1998, Soldier didn't see commercial success as anticipated. It performed so poorly in the US that the UK didn't even get a theatrical release. Critics' reviews leaned more towards mediocre, although audiences showed a bit more appreciation. Soldier is a mixed bag, distinctively 90s, a bit tacky by some standards, yet intriguing in its narrative. In an era dominated by CGI, the practical effects used in Soldier feel refreshing. The movie's potential is palpable, making it an enjoyable watch despite its shortcomings. It certainly had potential to be a masterpiece under the guidance of an A-list director like Ridley Scott, coupled with a top-tier cinematographer. No disrespect to Paul W.S. Anderson, but the movie would have greatly benefited from production values similar to Blade Runner. While it's now mostly forgotten, Soldier still leaves a sense of longing for what could have been. a cinematic gem that was lost in the sands of time. And with that, we wrap up this episode of The Film Files, where we dive deep into the making of the 1998 action movie, Soldier. If you enjoyed this deep dive, stay tuned for more engaging tales from the world of cinema. Until then, keep watching and keep exploring.